Okay, lesson 1. We start with the idea that everything in life is energy. Everything in the universe is energy. And life and the quality of life depends on the quality of the energy. And energy is in its best form when there is a balance between the two opposing polarities, plus and minus. Just like electricity from the socket, energy in general exists out of two opposing polarities, and together they can create. One on its own cannot do anything. If you put a plug with only one finger into the consent, nothing will happen with your apparatus, with your machine. There are some basic realities about life that actually, when you have insight, help you to understand your own condition, your own functioning, physically and mentally, but also spiritually. And yoga then, based on the insights that you develop, gives you a very systematic framework of tools with which you can improve your most precious asset, which is energy, and with which you can control it. If you feel that you are off, there are exercises with which you can restore the balance. The universe, if you read the Bible, there is a chapter of John, and John starts with a very peculiar sentence that he doesn't explain. He doesn't elaborate. The chapter of John just starts saying, first there was the Word. And then some story according to John unfolds. This sentence refers to the fact that the universe started with a vibration. And that vibration is Om. Om, that is the vibration that I made when we started the class. It's a vibration that is very harmonious. Om in Western countries is Amen. In the Middle East they say Amin. In the East, in the Orient, they say Om. It's the same. If you look at those philosophies also, you will discover that they have many things in common. Very interesting. We are all one. Now, Om is the start of the universe. First, there was the Word, according to John. According to yoga, first, there was pure Om. Pure Om is a vibration that is harmonious, and as long as energy is harmonious, it doesn't manifest. What is called vasana, subtle desire, causes disruption in the harmony. A vasana is a little subtle desire, and it causes undulation. There is no harmony anymore. In science, this is called the Big Bang. In the Bible, this is called Adam and Eve falling from paradise. Adam and Eve were not human beings. They are symbolism for yin and yang, Shiva and Shakti. They fell from paradise because of vasana, not because they did something naughty behind a tree or something, or they ate from the forbidden fruit. Is all symbolism that has the same story as in yoga. The universe started to manifest. It started with energy, but then there is a condensation taking place. It becomes thicker. Then when energy condenses, it becomes gas. When gas condenses, it becomes liquid. And when liquid further condenses, it becomes solid matter. Our physical body is the end product of that. But we contain all elements, starting with energy, which is the highest level of consciousness in our being, the spiritual level. Soul consciousness condenses, becomes gas, becomes fluid. Our body contains lots of fluids and gases, and eventually manifest into solid matter, bones and physical tissue. That condensation is an inherent process in the universe, and this is, in advanced yoga, you learn that this is the tragedy of mankind. Why? Because we have a natural tendency to condense. So, a human being, like the universe, in first instance, is pure energy. We are a ball of energy. The rest is a manifestation caused by the condensation. I will go deeper into this later on in the course. It will become a story too long for now and maybe also too complicated. But this explains why we fluctuate between those two conditions, plus and minus. The undulation becomes more and more pronounced, more and more disharmony occurring as a result of the fasana, and eventually it results in what in Sanskrit is called an anu. Anu is an atom. An atom is the basis, the foundation of every physical matter, solid matter. So this is where the stars and the planets and everything else started to manifest in the universe. This is described not in this handout, but in the handout of, it is shortly described in the handout of non-violence, the next subject. Why is this important? We are subject to this undulation of changing condition. The energies are called Shiva and Shakti. That's yin and yang. Harmony is called Sattva. Now, if you read any serious yoga book, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika or the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali or any traditional yoga book, you find that Sattva is pervading every aspect of yoga. Everything you learn and do in yoga is in fact designed to restore Sattva. Not many yoga teachers understand this or even know this. There's throughout the classes, I'm telling you all kinds of insights that are considered to be the secrets of yoga that initiated people understand. And when you see that, you realize that many yoga teachers, certified yoga teachers, actually are not properly initiated because they focus mainly on the physical aspect, surrounded with a little bit of spirituality, often superficial, but that's it. So it's important that you take note of these kind of things that I share with you. Shiva is the feminine component of energy. Shakti is the masculine component of energy. Now, people who know a little bit about yoga but are not properly initiated say, "You are wrong, teacher." Because Shiva is a male god. Shakti is a goddess. So how is it possible that Shiva is feminine energy, Shakti is masculine energy? You find that secret in the yin-yang model. Because the yin-yang model is Chinese, it's Shiva and Shakti, yin and yang, is the same. And it's based on the same Oriental philosophy that life is harmony. Everything exists out of plus and minus, feminine and masculine, dark and light. In the daytime, there is lots of Shakti energy. So naturally, we want to move. In the evening, when the sun goes down, Shakti wanes and Shiva rises, naturally. So the birds go back to their nest, the flowers close, and human beings start to yawn and prepare to go to sleep, naturally. This is important because you need to recover from your activities throughout the day. I explained at the workshop already. There is, at the workshop I made the other side dark, it doesn't matter. There's dark and light, plus and minus. But if you pay attention, you see that the light side, the dark side has a light eye, and the light side has a dark eye. Now many people think that is a nice decoration. But in philosophy, no matter how nice something looks, everything has a reason, a purpose, and or a meaning. And that eye has a meaning. The light eye represents the light. The dark eye represents the dark. So in short, this means that feminine energy contains masculine characteristics. Masculine proponent aspect of energy contains feminine aspect. In the same way that I, as in a human body of a man, I possess feminine characteristics. In the same way that women possess also masculine characteristics. This is a symbol of a human being, a model of a human being. Now about Shiva and Shakti. That is why we needed the yin-yang model. At the workshop I didn't explain this. This is also one of those secrets in yoga that not many people know about. Shiva energy, Shiva is a male god. But the characteristic in energy is masculine. Same as in the yin-yang model. Shakti, that is a female goddess, it's a goddess, but it has masculine characteristics. So each side is in a balance of its own, and together they have a balance. And in daily life, you see that in relationships that we have. With your partner, there is a certain harmony. If there is no harmony, that relation doesn't last. But each of the partners has a harmony on its own. And you see that back here, and you see that back here. Make note of this Shiva and Shakti thing, because every popular yoga book, newly written yoga book, so not the traditional ones, they make the mistake of saying Shiva is a male god, so it is the masculine proponent of energy. Almost everybody makes that mistake. Throughout the years we have had Indian people in our courses, and they know this. Most of them, not all, most of them know this. But other people, nobody knows this. So now we already know that because of day and night, because of the fluctuations in time, we are subject to the process of dominating Shiva, dominating Shakti. Now, the problem is that when we don't take control and our circumstances are not favorable, we have a tendency to fluctuate strongly between Shakti domination, Shiva domination. You're either active or you are resting. Sattva is, of course, here in the middle. And normal people or unconditioned people throughout the day and the night hardly ever reach the point where they stay in that condition of harmony. You have fleeting moments of harmony, everybody has, but it's never very prolonged, it's never very long. As a result, when you are in Shakti, the condition that goes with Shakti domination is called Rajas. Let me keep it together with this. So Tamas is the condition with Shiva domination. Rajas is the condition that comes with Shakti domination. When you are in Tamas, you have a tendency. Tamas is important to rest. That is why after activity you need to rest to recover. But you notice that when tamas is prevailing, you become depressed. Mentally, there is a negative cycle occurring. You have a tendency towards negative thought processes. It's a natural process. Instead of medicine, you need a kick under the butt. You need to move a little. That changes your energy. But if you move too much, rajas occurs. People who exercise, people who focus on work, they experience something that they like. There is a certain euphoria that comes with rajas, a certain exhilaration. People who experience that, they like to be busy. It gives them that sense of euphoria, exhilaration. Either workaholic is a result of an addiction to this feeling that comes with activity. And it is made worse because workaholics push themselves too far. They use up too much energy, which then requires the need for a deep tamas condition to recover. And tamas, workaholics don't like tamas because it makes them very dark and negative, and they want to go back to activity, whatever it is, to have that nice feeling. Drugs and alcohol work exactly like that, making those fluctuations even worse. Yoga practice, the study, the yamas and the niyamas, the philosophy of yoga, helps you develop insight how to reduce those fluctuations, the disturbances that normally subconsciously keep us busy. Physical exercise is also designed to reduce the fluctuations. Your meditation and your energy control exercise, which will be introduced halfway in the course after laying a foundation to prepare you for energy control, everything is designed to reduce the fluctuations so that you end up with fluctuations that are much closer to the condition of sattva. And that totally changes the way that you function. This is the main purpose of yoga, and it has so many implications. We will talk about all these things and everything that is related to it. Let's remove this too. Oh, what I didn't explain yet, I explained how you function in a tamas condition. There's tendency towards depression, laziness, lethargy. When you are in a rajas condition, there is exhilaration, there is a sense of excitement. But the important thing is, of course, what happens when you are in a sattva condition, when you are in harmony. It's described in the handout. When you are in sattva, you feel comfortable. There's a profound sense of well-being. Your mind is quiet and you are reflective. Contemplation is reflection on complex matter. You develop insights, not by reading a book or by listening to a teacher, but sheer contemplation occurs naturally as a result of being in sattva. The power of contemplation is located in the crown chakra. We will explain the chakras. Next week I will explain about Om and a little bit about the chakras also, so that you have a little bit an idea of the anatomy of a human being based on yoga philosophy. Science in the past was based on sheer contemplation. Ancient people who kept themselves busy in the past, the ancient past, with spiritual matters, developed insight into atomic matter. What I just put on the board with how energy manifested into atoms in the end, atoms being the end product, solid matter, as a result of energy condensing. The ancient people had insight in atomic structure without actually being able to see it. Of course, that is not accurate science, but intuitively they had a very good idea what it was about. In the same way, they had a very good idea about the universe, also far beyond sight, but on a macro level. And those insights were gained through sheer contemplation. Now, of course, science has become very theoretical in many ways, but in the past it was sheer contemplation. Science was practiced in monasteries and temples. Those were the first centers of study. It's only since a couple of hundred years that education has spread through the population. In the past, it was very limited to just a few people who dedicated their lives into very austere living, creating the circumstances to contemplate deeply. All right. Questions so far? Okay. I will turn off the camera and restart it for the next subject.